Ukraine-Russia war, the latest frontline situation and unexpected battle scenarios in disputed territories like Donbass, Crimea, and Zaporizhzhia. Ukraine's controversial mineral resources on the verge of being handed over to the USA, the secrets of the Chernobyl disaster and its impact on Ukraine, scandals and diplomatic tensions between Zelensky and Trump. Daily life in Ukraine and stories of its people. Secret negotiations and relations between Zelensky and Putin. The history and tourist attractions of Ukraine, Ukrainian cuisine, and traditional dishes, preparation. If you want to learn more about these and other important, interesting, and trending topics, make sure to watch the video until the end. Welcome to the GeoSaga channel. Enjoy watching. Ukraine-Russia war, the battlefield, disputed territories and the US connection. A war that refuses to end. The Ukraine-Russia war, which began in February 2022, continues to shake the world. With tensions escalating every day, the battle for key territories, Donbass, Crimea, and Zaporizhzhia, has reached a critical turning point. Unexpected moves, high-stakes strategies, and shifting alliances make this conflict one of the most unpredictable wars of our time. The battlefield, who holds the upper hand, the Russian offensive, gains ground. In recent months, Russia has made strategic advances, capturing Sudzha in the Kursk region and expanding control over parts of Zaporizhzhia. Moscow claims these areas will serve as a security buffer, signaling long-term occupation plans. Ukrainian counterattacks, fighting against the odds. Despite setbacks, Ukraine refuses to surrender. Using cutting-edge Western technology, Ukrainian forces are launching counterattacks in Donetsk and Kherson. However, a shortage of troops and rising casualties pose serious challenges to their resistance. A war of attrition, but for how long? The USA connection, support or abandonment? Since day one, the USA has been Ukraine's backbone. Washington has poured billions of dollars into military aid, providing Ukraine with advanced weaponry and intelligence support. But here's the twist. Recent political debates in the USA have raised doubts about future support. With upcoming elections and economic struggles, some American leaders question the sustainability of unlimited aid. Still, Biden stands firm. At the latest NATO summit, President Joe Biden vowed that the US will not let Russia expand unchecked. But will this promise hold up if domestic pressure mounts? Ukraine's fate may hinge on Washington's next move. What's next? 3 possible scenarios. 1. Russia gains the upper hand. Moscow solidifies its grip on disputed regions, forcing Ukraine into peace talks on Russia's terms. 2. Ukraine strikes back. With continued Western aid, Kyiv launches a bold counter-offensive, reclaiming lost ground. 3. A fragile peace deal. Both sides, exhausted and drained, reluctantly agree to negotiations, but at what cost? The verdict: no end in sight. The Ukraine-Russia war remains unpredictable. Every day the battlefield shifts, alliances evolve, and the stakes get higher. Will the US stand by Ukraine until the end, or will shifting politics change the course of history? Stay tuned, because the next move could change everything. Ukraine's disputed mineral resources, a potential deal with the US. As of early 2025, Ukraine's mineral-rich regions, especially Donbass and Zaporizhzhia, are at the center of global attention. These areas are home to valuable resources like lithium, neodymium, and graphite, crucial for green energy and tech production. With the US heavily invested in these industries, Ukraine is facing pressure to cede control of its mineral wealth in exchange for military and economic aid. The dilemma: economic survival versus national sovereignty. Ukraine's leadership is negotiating with the USA about potentially handing over control of its mineral resources. While this could provide much-needed financial support and help rebuild the country, it raises serious concerns about loss of sovereignty and long-term economic benefits for Ukrainians. US companies are eager to access these resources, especially lithium, which is key to electric vehicle production and renewable energy. The stakes: geopolitical and economic shifts. The deal could reshape not only Ukraine's future but also global energy markets. Critics argue that Ukraine could be selling out its national resources to foreign powers. However, supporters see this as a necessary move to secure immediate support and economic recovery during a time of war. What's next? This decision will have lasting effects on Ukraine's geopolitical alliances and economic independence. The world will be watching closely as Ukraine decides whether to embrace Western support or fight for control of its valuable resources. Stay tuned, this story is far from over. The Chernobyl disaster, secrets and its ongoing impact on Ukraine. The hidden secrets of the Chernobyl disaster. The Chernobyl nuclear disaster in 1986 remains one of the world's largest nuclear catastrophes. However, many mysterious aspects of the event are still not fully understood. The Soviet Union attempted to conceal the disaster's impact, causing delays in the release of information. The reactor design flaws and incompetence of the workers were major factors behind the disaster. Many classified details and the true causes of the explosion are still subjects of ongoing debates. The hidden aspects of Chernobyl remain largely unknown, and the full scale of the disaster continues to raise many questions. 2. Pripyat, a ghost town. The city of Pripyat, once home to workers at the Chernobyl plant, is now a deserted ghost town, frozen in time. Though most of its residents fled, some remain in the area, defying the radiation risks. 3. Chernobyl's future, a new frontier for tourism. Despite its dark history, Chernobyl has become a growing tourist destination, with travelers flocking to see the abandoned structures and learn about the tragedy. Could this radiation zone become a thriving tourist hotspot in the future? Chernobyl's eerie legacy continues to captivate the world, and its future remains uncertain. Is it a warning or a place of curiosity? Zelensky and Trump. Scandals and diplomatic tensions, the 2019 phone call and impeachment process. In July 2019, a phone call between Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky became a major event that led to Trump's first impeachment. During this call, Trump urged Zelensky to launch an investigation into Joe Biden and his son. This was seen as an abuse of power, resulting in a formal impeachment process against Trump. US-Ukrainian relations under Trump's rule. During Trump's presidency, US-Ukrainian relations were driven by personal interests. Trump focused on strengthening ties with Russia while pushing Ukraine toward policies that served his political agenda. This often led to Ukraine being sidelined in favor of Russia's influence and a lack of strong Western support for the country. The February 28, 2025 meeting and the suit incident. On February 28, 2025, during a meeting in the White House, there were significant discussions about natural resources agreements. However, a controversy arose when Trump complained about Zelensky's suit, claiming it was inappropriate for a high-level diplomatic meeting. This complaint added tension between the two leaders and was seen as disrespectful towards Zelensky. Trump's potential return and the future impact on Ukraine. Trump's potential return to politics presents both risks and opportunities for Ukraine. His close relationship with Russia and the approach towards Ukraine's independence and its Western alliances could create new challenges. However, Trump's willingness for peace talks could also provide fresh avenues for resolving the ongoing conflict. Conclusion: the relationship between Trump and Zelensky has been marked by diplomatic tension, personal interests, and issues of protocol. These events have had a profound impact on both US domestic politics and international relations. The future of these relations will likely play a key role in shaping Ukraine's destiny and regional stability. Daily life in Ukraine. Stories from the front lines. In 2025, despite the ongoing war, life in Ukraine continues with remarkable resilience. In Kyiv, the capital, daily routines have adapted to constant air raid sirens, but people continue to work, study, and support each other. Families in the western regions are focused on rebuilding, while volunteers play a crucial role in providing aid and maintaining connections with the world. In Donbas and Zaporizhzhia, regions heavily affected by the war, residents are coping with destruction, but many have stayed behind to rebuild their lives amidst the chaos. Stories of courage, community efforts, and the pursuit of normalcy, despite the adversity, are the backbone of daily life. Ukraine's spirit remains unbroken, its people determined to thrive, rebuild, and push forward, regardless of the challenges they face.
Zelensky and Putin. Secret talks and diplomatic tensions before the war. Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin engaged in several discreet diplomatic meetings, attempting to find a path toward peace. However, these meetings were not always productive, as both leaders held opposing views on Ukraine's future and its relationship with Russia. The personal dynamics between them were often tense, with Putin seeing Zelensky as an obstacle, while Zelensky criticized Russia's growing influence in Ukrainian politics. As the war unfolded, Zelensky became a global symbol of resistance, while Putin remained firm in his stance, unwilling to compromise. Their public statements have been filled with mutual accusations. Zelensky has condemned Russia's aggression, while Putin has accused Ukraine of being manipulated by Western powers. Looking ahead, both leaders seem locked in a standoff with no clear resolution. The possibility of future negotiations or a peace agreement remains uncertain, as both nations continue to push their agendas. The world watches to see if the ongoing tensions will finally give way to talks, or if the conflict will escalate further. Before the war, Volodymyr Zelensky and Vladimir Putin held secret meetings to avoid conflict, but their views on Ukraine's future were fundamentally opposed. Zelensky sought closer ties with the EU and NATO, while Putin insisted on Ukraine aligning with Russia's interests, creating a growing divide between them. Ukraine's historical and tourist sites, Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine. Kyiv is famous for the Kyiv-Pechersk Lavra, UNESCO World Heritage Site, St. Sophia Cathedral, and Maidan Zalezhnosti. The city also hosts many cultural landmarks that play a significant role in Ukrainian history. Lviv. Lviv's historic center, Rynok Square, and the Lviv Opera House reflect the city's culture and history. The city showcases excellent examples of European architecture and is rich in tourism. Odessa. Odessa is known for its seaport and the famous Potemkin Stairs. The city also features beautiful beaches and unique 19th-century architecture. Kharkiv. Kharkiv Historical Museum and Exhibition Parks are significant locations that reflect the city's history and culture. The city is also a hub for industry and education in Ukraine. These cities are key tourist centers that reflect Ukraine's rich history and cultural heritage. Ukrainian cuisine and traditional dish preparation. Borscht, one of Ukraine's most famous dishes. Borscht is a soup made from red cabbage, potatoes, meat or vegetables, and topped with sour cream. Vareniki, a filled dough dish. Vareniki can be stuffed with potatoes, cheese, meat, or fruit, then boiled and fried in oil. Silo. Pork fat, a popular food in Ukraine, is often eaten on bread. Cuisine. History. Ukrainian cuisine has strong connections with Eastern European, Russian, and Polish culinary traditions, with fresh vegetables, meats, and dairy products being key ingredients. Due to its geographical location and historical ties, Ukrainian cuisine has been influenced by various cultures.